So how are you guys doing? Have you recovered post-PGI?
No. No. I
Gosh,
need
no.
2 more days of sleep.
I need sleep. I have been going
But it's
since.
but it's a good feeling though, right?
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't
It's
trade
a
it.
Like
great
you're already
feeling.
ready to go back next year.
For
Just me.
sure.
I want a
Miss
vacation
miss
from
you
my
guys, miss my
vacation.
friends.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's understandable. We'll talk a little bit more about what Peaches was up to all week because it's impressive and it's definitely worth a call out. We should mention the Skittles and kind of give people some context there in case people don't know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
If you're curious how hard Peaches was working, she's broadcasting from a hammock, I think. So,
She
I
might
am
still be at the convention. We actually
broadcasting from
don't
my
know
hammock.
that. We haven't confirmed it. Are you on the beeline? Where are you?
It's my backyard, baby.
Well, let's talk about how long was everyone's drive home. We'll start from there, and then we'll keep keep going.
I think I win 3.5 hours.
Ugh.
I think I'm 7 hours.
You're 10 hours, Adam?
7 hours.
Oh. Okay.
What was yours, Skylar?
I was a good 11 to 12, I think.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Pulling the keeper.
Mine was only
Yeah.
6.5. So no complaining here.
Gosh. Next year's going to be even further.
Further for Skylar, but Peaches, it's in your backyard next year.
Next year, it's a whole 10 minutes
the
away.
hammock.
Oh, wow.
I don't necessarily
that's what we're
love
all
that
saying.
it's
We're
only
staying
10
in
minutes
Peaches'
away,
backyard.
but yeah, y'all can come over. Just throw a bunch of campers in my yard. It's cool.
Do
We'll take a.
any of your friends come to shows when it's in Wisconsin?
Oh, absolutely. They were like super thrilled to see that it was coming back next year because a lot of them went to Oshkosh, and some of them, because Oshkosh was such a hit for Friday night's show, some of them didn't even get to go because the parking got insane and there was nowhere to park anymore by the time the show started. Like, it was over, and a lot of them just ended up leaving because they were parking miles and miles away. So definitely get there early.
Mm.
They already told me, they're like, hook me up with some tickets. Like, I want to go.
Nice. I on both public nights, so Sunday and Friday, volunteered to help with the traffic, directing traffic, and also greeting the public. And I was kind of impressed with how many people had traveled to see the show. A lot of Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan people that had seen a show prior, and they just kind of follow PGI around. So that was kind of interesting. I was a little shocked.
I am too. I'd never thought about that.
Yeah.
But
PGI
that's
roadies.
that's really crazy if you think about it. I wish we had some more data to show where people are coming from for the public side. Obviously, coming to the convention is different. Most of us travel from wherever, but the public side's very interesting.
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
going to do that,
And, I
you
mean,
should
there
just join.
Become a member.
Yes, I did, and we
Yeah.
talked about that. But yeah, because there was a couple that have been the last 8 years they've traveled around, and
Oh my
we did
goodness,
talk
that's
about the
crazy.
membership and what happens during the week that they don't see. And I think by the end of our conversation, they're like, "Oh yeah, well we'll probably do the member thing next year then." So
Yeah, so
Oh
I
gosh,
met
I hope
at
so.
least one person who had been following PGI. This is like their fourth or fifth PGI to go to, but they weren't a PGI member and they'd never attended as a member. They just went to the public display nights, and they decided to join this year. And they hopped on a volunteer position starting day one, and they hopped on the grounds crew team with my dad. Actually, that's how I met him, and cruised around and started helping, and loved getting behind the scenes there. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think we identified where we need to do a membership drive next year. Is in the parking lot. I know they mention it at the shows, but actually talking to people and give them some information might actually, help a lot. Just a thought.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
we did have we had some that they were handing out. So I know that there was information going out about the PGI to the public, at least on that last show night. So, which was insane too. I think there were like 4,000 tickets sold on Friday's show. It was quite the crowd. It's impressive.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think we did really well both nights. Iowa was super happy to have us there. On Sunday night, I was in the crowd passing out Fireball Dude stickers, and a lot of the locals were talking to me too, and there was one guy that talked to me for like a good half an hour just asking a million questions too. So they were definitely happy to have us there, and yeah, I do think passing out information to people in the public is a great idea because so many people were very curious about it. So we'll have to remember that for next year.
Yeah, well, speaking of Sunday night, how about that drone show? Huh? That was insane. Joel, you feel like everything
went
off without a hitch? You pleased?
Oh, no, of course not. Of course not. Nothing ever goes off without a hitch, which I'm sure most people that have done any type of performance understand. It's all about how you can mitigate risk and be as successful as possible, which is literally, that's my job, is to try to be as successful as possible. But no, the overall outcome for me was amazing. See my poster behind me? We made posters for everyone on my team,
nice.
and everyone signed it. And then you get your own poster. This is from last year that the Spirit of 76 crew did. We did our own this year for all of my customers. Yeah. And there's little keepsakes behind me every time we do an episode. But just to talk a little bit more about that show, it was even 2 days before, and we were getting some additional product donated to us that was amazing to add into the show. So, it's really fun to see so many different teams with different skill sets come together and pull something off. And the whole point of that show was to do something collaborative, try to be unique story, soundtrack, all that, but just impress as many people as possible. And I just want to mention this because there was some negative comments online. There's always going to be scrutiny of shows.
Always.
But sometimes you might not like it because of the music or the storyline, and that's okay. But I do want to remind people, especially in the public light, to be a little bit more cautious about what you say, because the whole organization is represented when you post online. So just be aware of that. If you want to come to me and give me constructive criticism, I'm happy to listen to it. But please be mindful when you're posting publicly. I saw a couple people on our Facebook page that were not pleasant, and I wish that they would have been a little bit more courteous.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, overall,
that's unfortunate.
The public was just raving about it. I mean, I think the positive comments from the community, if you went out and looked at all the local Facebook pages, was overwhelmingly great.
Well, and that was the point, right?
Yeah.
Is to make a show that was appealing to the public. So, they go tell their friends and family about it, maybe join, maybe just come back for the next show. Like, that's the whole point of the show, is to drive ticket sales,
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean,
right.
To be able to take drones and pyro and put it all together and find ways to make them mesh in a way that it didn't feel like a drone show and a fireworks show. It just felt like a performance, and I think you hit the nail on the head with that.
I'll tell you a couple of the big takeaways from my perspective, and this has been discussed in my team. It's hard when you're doing these productions because there are people with different skill sets. You got your firework crew that traditionally don't know much about drones, and same vice versa. Now, luckily, I can kind of blend those mediums, but same thing with special effects and just about anything in between. People have their specific skill sets. Well, we lost Peaches. She'll come back.
She always comes back.
One of the things a big takeaway for me was the drone design really needs to be done first and foremost, and then you fill around it with fireworks. Because what happens a lot of times with these big productions is they run down to the last minute. I mean, we are making show changes while on site. I was setting up, and I didn't get my final show file until the night before. Exactly. That happens. Well, because of that, the firework teams scripted, pulled product, were on site setting up. It's much harder to change stuff for the firework crews. And that's kind of what happened here. Some people were talking about washout. It's going to happen when you do these big shows, especially when you're sitting really close and personal. I got some awesome pictures from a drone so aerial,
Yeah.
a little bit further back, and the layering was amazing. But when you're sitting right in that front row, of course, you're looking through the fronts at the drones at the large shells in the back, and that's obviously part of the issue. And you can only put the drones so many places because you got fireworks everywhere. So that was one of the things we did is all the shells were in the same line. So instead of having like a 3-inch shell at 300 feet, all 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s were actually at 600 feet, mostly so the drones could be right in the middle between the fronts and the shells, which maybe that was not the right call, because then your 3s, they're further away, they're going to look like they break lower. But it'll just allowed us to fly in that middle without worrying about getting hit by a drone, or a drone getting hit by a firework.
That's pretty important. That's pretty important. I mean, I actually watched the show from my campsite, just because we were lined up almost perfectly to be away from the crowd but still have a great view, and from that distance, it's almost easier to watch because those pictures just come together, and you can't even necessarily pick out individual drones, so it just feels more, I don't know, connected or something.
Yeah.
But it was, from where we sat, it was fantastic, and like I said, just really appreciated the way it all blended together, because I've been to fireworks shows that have a drone segment, and they're two distinct segments, right? And I think this works much better, personally.
Yeah, that's what happens when it's one team, right, versus two independent teams contracted separately.
Yeah.
And it'll only get better, I mean, as you evolve and do a couple of these shows, I mean, there's not a lot of these large productions that are doing stuff like this, so it's not like we have a guide to go off of. You're kind of learning on the fly. One of the things that I personally really enjoyed was the pyro on the drones. That's obvious. I'm a pyro, even though I might be flying some drones. I'm a pyro, and putting pyro on the drones added those creative elements. But in my opinion, we barely scratched the surface, and that's just a sheer factor of time and product. So we could do some insane things if there was 1,000 pyro drones in the sky. But the realistic part of it is, don't have 1,000 pyro drones. And the second part of that is that's a lot of product. I mean, I spent a full day just wiring up product on the drones alone. But it all turned out very well, in my opinion, and I heard a ton of positive feedback from people within the organization, which is always, great. And there was some other great shows on Sunday night too, and things happen. There was a show that it just, like I said, equipment might have been missing, and it sucks, and you're scrambling last minute. But guess what? People came together and got the show off the ground.
Right.
Was it perfect? No, absolutely not. Was it a great show? Yes, it was a fantastic show. Yeah. And people are working super hard out there to pull those things off. And, the designers or the crew on a lot of the shows obviously can tell you more about what's wrong with specific shows. Sure. And the audience generally doesn't have a clue, especially the public. They were all great on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, you had so many good things happening Sunday, and then, things really didn't slow down, in my opinion, as we moved on to the rest of the week, because the competitions were awesome. Obviously, we had the Jerry Gitz Memorial Challenge with Mascletas. That was amazing, insane. Daytime smoke.
Ooh, that was really good from my view.
Yeah.
Where were you at?
Got some hold music?
We lost her. Nah, it didn't work.
That's all she's going to say for the entire episode.
That's okay. Oh.
Holla.
Wait, wrong hand.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I think
she has no
she's
idea.
Back. No, she doesn't know she's been frozen for the last 30 seconds.
Hi, Peaches. Can you hear us?
Hi. Sorry. I'm having issues today.
So, during the Mascaletas, where were you?
I was in the no-no spot. I was Jeremy Vaverka's safety person, so I got to go up on the silo. And feeling that thing rumble during the Mascaleta was absolutely insane. Especially during the concussions and fireball from Walker's show. That was pretty cool.
So you had a nice
we even looked at each other like, whoa.
Point. That makes sense.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I got some pretty cool videos, I'm not going to lie.
The fireball. were pretty neat this year. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
there's always fireballs are fireballs, but there were some cool, unique fireballs during that show. They had put, I think they had like chunks of titanium in there, and you can see it kind of sparkling and the kind of crackling sound. And then on Friday's show, they had a colored smoke fireball that made a rainbow.
That
which
was
I
insanely
thought was
beautiful.
really neat.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, the
Did they
ghost
call it
mines.
a ghost fireball?
Ghost mines?
Yeah,
That's what they
ghost
call
mine.
them.
I did hear that one of the
Colored
ingredients
flames,
for
yeah.
that, I don't know which color, was just table salt. I'm still waiting to hear the formula for all these because that was seriously beautiful.
So you can go recreate them, right?
Yeah, in my backyard. No. Next year.
Yeah, next year.
I live in the city. I can't be
year.
doing that here.
Let's see. There were some other. I mean, I'm getting like out of order for how things happen during the week, but
That can happen, Adam.
yeah. I mean, holy cow! The Malta shells that went out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. I mean, I've seen the salutes that go around in a circle and spiral and all that, but to do it 15 times or whatever before the bottom shot and to reverse directions
those
and to
shells
throw
were
red and green in
insane.
there. I mean, just if
That was someone from Pork, right?
that was it Wit?
I think
Really?
so. I don't know.
I apologize if you're listening and
Yeah.
it's your shell and we didn't remember your name, but it was amazing. I was trying to give a call because I assumed one of the other co-hosts would know. I think it was someone from Pork, though.
I don't know.
No?
There was a couple
I know.
Maltese builders there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because there were, like, in the builder showcase, there were a couple from Wes and Tom Neeson,
Wiley.
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 the name.
Yep.
That was
Yep.
That was those insane shells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it started with a W.
So, what was everyone's like highlight show or shell, whatever firework event this last week?
I mean, the Malta shells stand out for me as being something unique and something you can't see anywhere else as far as like a single item.
Mm-hmm.
There
Oh,
was
absolutely.
there was a Class C Unlimited show.
Yeah.
Ellery Ho.
That was Ellery Ho from RKM. Wow. Yeah,
Dude,
I was digging
It
that
was
one.
great work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's raw
Incredible.
talent right there. You got to go check that one out on YouTube. That one's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single angle even remotely off. Everything was so perfectly timed.
Precision. Yeah.
I agree. That was probably one of my highlights was the competition Class C night.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously
Two
I
things
love
with that.
public stuff. But
Sorry.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Two things with that that's interesting. So Wednesday night at PGI in the past has been a public night. This year it wasn't.
Right,
But it shows like that validate it being a public night.
Yeah.
for
And
sure.
it was just his show. There was no other unlimited shows. But I would love to seen him compete against some of those other great scripters because it would have been a heck of a competition.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
And then I saw on Facebook someone said he did that like in Cobra Show Creator, not in a visualization software like Finale, which
Really?
blew my mind if that's true. I think it might have been on the Cobra Facebook page that said that, which, again, no visuals of that to get the angles right and kind of visualize in your head is pretty wild to me, unless he
Yeah.
did it a little bit of
So if
hybrid,
you're
which
creating
I don't
it
think
on
he
there,
knows.
you can't actually
But-
see what you're doing.
Correct.
You can't
wow.
like see the what's
The
the word?
visualization. So you're
Yeah,
punching the
it is.
angles, and you're
Yeah.
basically thinking in your head like, okay, I'm gonna have
Wow, that takes some
like a
serious
par-
imagination. I could
parabolic.
not do
You'd be
that.
thinking the different angles. Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna
Crazy.
fact check that while we're chatting.
Yeah. Fact check that one.
Yeah, scripted using Cobra Show Creator. That's what Cobra claimed.
Wow. It's impressive.
It's unreal. Very
Wild.
impressive.
So for me, that show was very high on my list, partially because I'm a sucker for Class C shows, but then it was just beautifully choreographed, well-timed, always something going on, a lot of effects, very good use of the space, and variety of products. I thought that show was phenomenal.
Yep, couldn't agree more. I thought the cracker burn went off pretty well, all things considered.
I don't know. I found an unburned cracker.
We'll have to do a recount.
Yeah.
I am super happy with the cracker burn this year,
Yeah, how many cracks?
especially the cleanup of it.
Were you? Yeah. We had a new method this year, and we dug about a 3-foot trench underneath the cracker burn structure. So before we started building it, we dug a trench, 45, 50 feet long, 3 feet deep, and we built the cracker burn wooden structure right on top of it so that most of the crackers would fall into that trench at the end. And we had to cover up the trench with plywood while we were all, throwing the crackers and things. But we pulled the plywood out right before dark, and cleanup was a breeze.
That was such a
According to
huge
you.
time saver. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
No, it was
I was
fantastic.
Told that we're doing it. I was told we're doing it that way forever, whether we want
Absolutely.
to or not. So.
It was so nice. It really was. Considering last year we spent like a good probably 4 hours on cleanup, so that was fantastic this year.
I hope you were using machinery last year and not shovels.
We were using all of the above.
Ugh.
We had bags and rakes and shovels and skid steers, and yeah, it was a whole thing. But the trench thing, yes, 100%, all the time from now on.
Trench for the win.
Trench for the win.
Peaches, while we have you, tell us what was your favorite part of the convention or show or element that stood out.
Oh my gosh, there were so many. Non fireworks related. Jimmy's no rain dance was kind of a highlight for me. I'm not gonna lie, it was fantastic.
That was funny.
He stood in front of thousands of people and was able to dance. I could not do that, so kudos to him. I don't know if anyone from the
Wearing,
public
like, a
got to see
bumblebee
that, but
costume or something. Yeah.
oh yeah. All throughout the week, every day he wore a different piece of that costume, and then he finally brought it to full light on Friday, and I was laughing so hard I was crying.
really
I'm
is.
not gonna lie. And then to actually see him dance in the spotlight was just something I'm never gonna forget.
And he wasn't anticipating the music going that long, because after it had been going for about 90 seconds
No,
or so,
he was like,
he
"You
was-
guys
he
need to
was looking
cut.
over
You
at
guys need to
the
cut."
audio guy doing this, like, stop. Okay, I'm tired.
I thought that was just part of his
Yeah.
dance.
It was he's a trooper. It was good. It was good.
I love how much you telling that story makes you laugh.
Oh.
Because that tells me everything I need to know.
I don't know. There were so many great things this year. Definitely those shells that we were talking about. There were some really great fireballs. The ghost mines, those were unbelievable and gorgeous. And then also during one of those Class C competitions, I have her name written down. I unfortunately am terrible at remembering names, but
I think I know which one she's going to talk about.
To be continued.
Well, while we're waiting on Peaches to join us, Skylar,
Yes.
tell us your favorite parts.
Oh, total overall firework, non-firework stuff. I obviously have talked about how I love hanging out with my friends, getting to see people that I only see, really at convention for the most part, and being able to chat with some of the greatest shell builders, rocket builders. It's really neat. I will say that I think one of my non-pyro highlights was the auction, although my wallet did not feel the same. I've the last couple years I've really gotten into that night, and the building where Afterglow was just, it was a nice space for everyone, and it's just fun to see what people have collected over the years and being able to kind of pass on that tradition. So I've been actually, since I'm in my camper, I have one of the jacket that I got, and I wish I could remember his name right now, whose jacket this is, but he was a longtime PGI member that has passed, but I've got this sweet certified, shooter, professional pyro jacket from, it's not a PGI specific jacket, but it is just an awesome, fun little.
Yeah, retro.
Yeah. Why do you need it? You don't. But
Yeah, you do.
You do. On auction night, you do. You do need it. I got a couple cool pyro books and some matchbooks from PGI's 25th anniversary. So that was in 1994.
Wow.
That's how old those matchbooks are. So, yeah, I don't know. Just neat to be able to pass on a little history and be a part of just the legacy between the auction and also talking to just folks that have been doing it for so long, and they're really just they've paved the way for fireworks. Like Mike Swisher and Tom Ravenclaw. Being able to have them in our campsite is just like it's really neat.
That's cool. There's one item you got that you didn't mention that was it's maybe a little bit random and not pyro related, but I was waiting for you to talk about it.
The yodeling pickle?
That's the one, yeah.
I don't think it made it on the camper. I think that maybe Barry or AJ has it. I don't know, but yes, that night I did. I played with that yodeling pickle a lot.
Yeah.
And for folks that are listening and that just sounds odd, it is odd, and it is literally that, a yodeling pickle, just a little plastic pickle that yodels. Adam, you heard it? Do you want to give us a little yodel?
It was. I may have the pitch a little off, but it was yodelay, 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 something like that. Is that about right?
Nailed it.
Yeah,
do it again.
Yeah. It was.
Keep
it was
going.
quite
It's going to be the intro.
It starts with a yodel. Yeah.
And ends with a yodelay.
Yeah. Yodelay hee hoo.
That's it.
So, Skylar, on the pickle, I bet you it's in one of the camp chairs cup holders. And why this is relevant is Friday night when the storm started rolling in. This was like after 3 o'clock. A lot of people were in bed. We picked up a lot of those chairs and took them to the JPA to sell next year.
To resell, yeah.
So I'm calling this out that if someone buys a chair from JPA next year and there's a pickle in it,
maybe there's a special
good money
prize
for
or
it.
something.
We will pay good money. There's a reward.
yeah.
That pickle's kind of a big deal.
Ha.
Well, it will be, especially if someone finds it next year.
Joel, you missed his dad joke.
I
Kind of a
did.
big
What?
deal. He's kind of a big deal. No?
The pickle, it was
Dill?
a big deal. That's okay.
Come on.
Oh, dill. Yeah, okay.
For a
Sorry.
second, I thought we were having some technical difficulties there. You were
let's
pulling
blame it
up
on that.
peaches.
Nah.
It sounded like you said deal, and it just went right over my head. Well played, Adam.
Dill.
Well
He
played.
was as cool as a cucumber there, so.
Wow. I missed all these like dad jokes going on. What's happening here?
Are you
can
in the
listen to the
basement?
episode.
Where are you? Peaches?
No, I'm outside.
Did we
Blair
just
Witch
send a search and
Project here.
rescue
What's
team?
going on?
I don't have any light out here.
Clearly, it's really dark where you're at. Still fairly light here. I don't even have a light in here.
Well, you're in mountain time, right? That makes sense.
So who hasn't gone? Adam, have you shared your highlights? You did your
kinda
Cracker
kicked it
Barrel
off.
stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
Joel, what about you? I think you're the last
Oh, man.
to share.
Well, yeah, I mean, be careful. I'll talk for the next 30 minutes. So, where do you want to start? Well, no, we hit a lot of the show highlights, a lot of the element highlights. Mascaletta's definitely very high on my list, but that's mostly because I love them. Second, everyone's opinions on everything else. But beyond that, there was a lot of small highlights here and there. For example, meeting this team at the campsites and hanging out and just talking and playing some games, or going to the afterglows, grabbing a beer, again, after working on site all day and seeing all those people you hadn't seen since last year. So there's all those small interactions for me that just make PGI great. You know, I got some new swag from the trade show, which, if you couldn't tell, this is like my pyro office. So I got fire flags, you know, rocket that's 6 feet tall, like that kind of stuff. So anytime we go to these trade shows, we try to figure out where can we put more items around the shop here. So even just wondering, the trade show was a big highlight for me. Class C vending, which Adam put in a lot of work to make a reality, and Class C shooting. I mean, there was the Friday night after the displays ended, I'm cleaning up from the drone stuff, and Class C just goes wild to the point where I stopped and thought, like, wait, my orientation feels wrong. It felt like the finale of one of the main displays because someone just made it rain out there. So it's all those small little things, the unplanned stuff that just, to me, those are the highlights. It's unexpected, you know?
Well, that happened too on Friday where there was a site or two that didn't go off in the show. I think it was Friday, not Sunday, but
you're correct, Friday.
Yeah, and just let Friday. It off and like kind of a fire all deal. It was a lot.
Yeah,
my understanding,
they'd been holding back a little bit on Class C, so when it got to Friday night, Ray Fisher, the Class C line boss, he said, "All right, at 11:45, whatever you got, bring it. We're going to let it roll." So,
which they did.
They sure did.
There were people lined up, lighting stuff at the same time, and
it was insane.
Yep.
For perspective, it was like a minute-long mass launch of anything and everything anyone wanted to light. It was pretty legit.
It was awesome.
I did see video evidence online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the back end of the of that you could just see it over the camper from our camp. So, what did you guys think of this site?
I loved it.
Felt pretty functional. Initially I thought it was kind of small, but I think in the end it was kind of nice that it was smaller and not having to really need to drive everywhere like some sites. But you know, I mean, even when you have to drive there, it's still drive around to different buildings. It's still fun. But yeah, it's nice to be able to walk, you know, from Class C back to your camp, back to the trade show, you know, and not feel like you're walking a couple miles. So
no, and
having
I think
the roads
better if it ever
was
goes
definitely
back.
nice.
Very nice.
The display field was a little bit rough, but
it was a little bumpy.
A little wet.
Especially
dirt and water.
At 2 a.m. after a rain when you're driving out to Wampa 24.
There is video evidence of that.
Is there?
We got a
I know nothing.
Actually, speaking of that, we did record clips throughout the convention. A lot of them were after-hours type clips, and we did record on-site as well. I tried to edit this down to post it, and let's just say that we're getting used to this podcasting thing, and the audio quality and how we had it set up was not the best. So that may or may not come out in the future. But we do have some really awesome clips of us just popping up at various places that I think can absolutely either be tacked on in this episode or be a standalone thing, or potentially a social media push. Fair warning, a lot of times after Glow and beyond can be a little unhinged.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adult
Ignition Point podcast unhinged.
Unhinged.
Ignition Point after hours.
Ignition Point afterglow.
Call it that. The next morning, it's not a hangover; it's a hang fire.
Yeah. You know,
I like that.
Adam and I keep drinking our drinks, and it's like perfectly in the cameoed. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Sticker somewhere.
Let's see. We managed to pull off a new event this year called Root Beers and Ears. Did anybody get to go grab an ear of corn or a cold root beer?
You're welcome for that, by the way.
All right, am I?
Without
shuck
me,
them all?
you wouldn't have had that root beer.
Oh,
Yeah. Peaches made the run to town to get the kegs.
And I met a fella at the store wearing a kilt, welcoming us with open arms, like, you guys must be from PGI. Hey, you're the one with the root beer. Let's hook up.
Was
And,
he
yeah, they
wearing
gave
a
us-
kilt and carrying 2 kegs?
No,
like
unfortunately,
that would
just wearing the
match.
kilt. He was awesome, though. And yeah, that was actually a very awesome event because the root beer was fantastic. I did not have an
it
ear of
was.
corn, though.
So we had one of our Class C vendors, Iowa Fireworks Farm. They grow corn. They have a corn farm, field, whatever.
Shocking.
Anyway, shocking.
Right?
Yeah. So they donated 1,000 ears of corn, a pickup bed full of corn. And we had a little shucking party, got them all shucked. And then one of the food truck vendors offered to come over and cook all the corn for us. So we set up right next to Class C vending, handed out 1,000 ears of free corn and cups of cold root beer, freshly tapped from the keg, and just had a little freebie event right next to Class C vending. And
Yeah,
called
it's
it Root
awesome.
Beers and Ears. It was cool.
Beers and ears.
Beers and
that
ears.
sounds awesome. Love it. Love the Iowa theme with the corn. I missed it, unfortunately.
Boo.
It was great.
I know.
That's what happens when you got to work.
Right.
Actually, I had a really fun reason for missing it. If you want to pivot,
Oh, please tell
that
us.
was Thursday
Please
night,
tell us.
right? It was Thursday night, correct?
Yeah. That's
It
okay.
was, yeah,
So-
that sounds right.
On Friday, we were doing a drone show for the PGI sponsors. You know, the idea being is that PGI can sell ad space and we fly their ads in the sky. Well, you know, it is PGI, Pyrotechnic event. So Thursday mid-afternoon, one of my customers, Blake, and I were chatting, and he wanted to put some pyro in the drone show, which I'm a pyro. I'm all down. We had some leftover pyro. So Thursday night, we decided to add some pyro hits into the end of the drone show. So that way it was the PGI sponsor ads, and then we put PGI in the sky and put some pyro on it. So that was the Thursday night for me. It was spent just adding some extra pyro into Friday.
Okay. That's
And then I saw you
That's
guys
valid.
at, I think, Skylar at the auction thereafter.
Yeah, I always make it to the auction, and I was just swamped Thursday night with Class C stuff, so I didn't get to run over to the auction. We had a couple of Class C vendors doing demos that night, and there was just way too much going on. So I was a little bummed. I usually
I didn't get to make it either.
I usually spend a little money at the auction. I might have competed
Don't
for
worry.
that yodeling pickle.
Skylar got us all covered.
I definitely spent all of the money and bought everything. Is what it felt like, to be honest. I see why people gamble. My gosh, it's similar.
Next year, you're going to have to beat your record by like 10% or something like that.
Oh, I
Bracket.
know. Gretchen's just looking at me like, what? And I'm like, it's for the guild. It's for the guild. It's fine.
That's right.
It's gonna be
Telling yourself
fine.
that.
I love it.
Yeah. And we actually, Hannah, and I can never say her last name, pronounce it correctly, with
The Pacifier team.
Pacifier. She makes these incredible firecracker art, I don't know, displays. Like, she takes firecrackers and puts them into like kind of a snowflake looking pattern. And last year, Connie and I were bidding, and I think we spent like double what she sells them for, and she's like, shocked. She's like, you guys could have just bought it from me. And so then this year, she brought a couple extra to the art show, and Connie and I both bought one, and we're like, all right, we don't need to bid for it, and the other one, and I ended up taking another one home, I believe. Or maybe she did. I can't remember. But we did both bid on it. Again, even though we both were like, we've got one. We don't need to bid on it. It's fine.
Yeah. You want to sell it?
It's for the guild.
Oh, and then that's the other thing. The other thing that was the priciest ticket of the night for me was the vintage postcards. And I'm thinking that there might be some shirts next year with some of these prints, so be on the lookout for that.
Ooh,
There's some really
sweet.
cool designs in that set.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what we should do for the auction next year? We should plant an item, and then one of us bid on that item, and then we just keep redonating it to the auction. See how long we can keep it in rotation.
Like a
For the
yodeling
guild.
pickle.
Like a yodeling pickle. That's probably what we just ruined someone's joke, and they're gonna approach us next year and say, "What'd you do with my pickle?" It's gonna happen.
What happened to the pickle?
Oh, Peaches. It's a whole story.
It's a whole thing.
You'll have to re-listen to the episode.
Oh crap!
Yeah.
I missed it. Okay,
You'll find out in 6 weeks when this episode gets posted.
that's fair.
Just
Joel, you
I'm
have
gonna
2
do it all
weeks.
tonight.
Oh, poor Joel.
Poor Joel. He does it all. Where's our guitar music?
AI can take care of that for us.
I was just going to talk about the site we were at this year. For being a new site and not having any sort of services to clean bathrooms, clean showers. I mean, the only thing that we had come in was someone to empty the porta potties. It was all volunteer done. We did a pretty amazing job at picking up after ourselves this year. I was rather impressed. So thank you to everyone for that, because
Way to go,
I was
PGI
afraid that we were going to
members.
end up staying even longer cleaning up because of that. And we still had enough volunteers show up on the weekend on Saturday and helped out enough that I only had to call into work on my first day on my new job on Monday, so it wasn't so bad.
First
But no,
day
I
of
was
a new job.
impressed. We did a pretty good job at keeping everything clean, so that was nice.
You know,
Yeah.
it's probably a good segue into something I alluded to earlier, which was the Skittles. I just want
Yes.
to give them a shout out and kind of talk a little bit about this, because these are seriously the hardworking people that make the event possible on
It's true.
site. So, I'm not sure if anyone has more context than I, or correct me if I say this wrong, but basically there's different departments that are in charge of different things. For example, site crew. And each of these departments are a different color t-shirt. So site crew is pink, safety is red. What other colors we got? There's fire med yellow.
Yep.
There's now volunteer purple.
Volunteer purple.
Is that all of them?
Oh, yeah.
That is correct.
And these groups are called the Skittles because of the vibrant colors. And the main reason I wanted to call them out is, seriously, this is such a hardworking group of people. I mean, Peaches, you're on site crew. I swear every time we tried to find you, you were doing something, no matter what day, what time of day.
Yeah.
There was one point in time that I believe it was like 2 a.m. and we're like, "Where's Peaches?" And you were out on site doing something that had to be done. You know, and we tried to kidnap you to go back to the
Yeah.
afterglow kind of situation. So
That was an all-nighter.
seriously, well, I think you did that more than once. You know, rain was
No,
coming.
that one
and
was the only one.
site
That was
crew-
an all-nighter, but yeah.
Yeah, Friday night then.
That was Friday night, yeah.
Yeah, so
Being
there
that
was rain in
we
the forecast.
Yeah,
Go
being that
ahead.
we took, 3 or 4 days to get the site set up, we technically only have 1 day to clean it all up. And
Oof.
being that the rain kept happening, we knew we were going to be behind because of that. So we stayed up all night, a bunch of us, and tried to get anything and everything off the field. That way we didn't have to worry about the rain and being out there in the morning. So we'd have a head start on being able to still clean up even while it was raining the next day. So honestly, if we didn't do that, I probably would have ended up calling in on Tuesday as well. But no, it was good.
Wild.
It was good. We had a lot of volunteers stay and help, so we probably could have got done a little bit faster. Just the rain kind of really killed us. So, and then being that it was, like I said, that site, there was a lot of stuff we had to put back. So, but it was all right. It was all right. I'm proud of us.
We're proud of you.
And I
too.
would definitely go back to that site again. It wasn't a bad site at all.
That sounds different than what you said at the beginning of the week. The beginning,
I will
you
just
were
know
going,
to
"I'm never
take
coming
off
back
2
here
weeks
again."
and a couple days after for next year or next time we go there.
No, I did like the site layout just because everything's on a grid with the streets and it's
Yeah, that
easy
was
to get
super nice.
from one corner to another. Yeah, that was. I think we could have used a little more room for things like Sea Line, but we did make good use of the space we had. So,
Absolutely.
But the beauty of that too is if we go back, those are the small things that can be easily adjusted, and then the next time you're there, it's a much better experience.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Well-
putting the drones in a different kind of world because I want that world that he had. Just saying. He can have the
Drone
mud.
World was
No.
perfect.
No, it was good. Let's see what else happened with you guys this week. I really didn't get to see you guys much either, except for after hours, and that was even short-lived.
That's okay. That's where we
Yeah,
all
you didn't.
joined at the end of the week
Yeah.
or end of the
So
day.
we talked about it at the beginning, but where is PGI 2026?
We are at the Wisconsin International Raceway in Kaukauna.
Yep, that's why I wanted you to say it because I didn't know how to say Kakana.
I didn't either. I waited for
I was gonna just say Appleton and be done.
near Appleton is what I was going
That's
to
what
say.
a lot of people said, but
Wisconsin.
yeah, it's actually Kaukauna.
Kakana?
The last time we were there was in 2010, so we're gonna hope for not a repeat of that scenario, but I think it'll be
Was
good.
that
We
your
got-
first?
flood year.
That was 2010 was the flood year, and it was also the first year that I started helping out as site crew, and that was kind of when we became like official after that
It's,
because they realized that a site crew help is kind of definitely needed for a big production like this. So yeah, ever since
It's a
then,
little throwback to our first episode, I think.
yeah, it is.
Sure.
So we're not going to have a repeat of 2010. It's going to be a great year, and I'm excited for it to be here.
I agree.
We'll have a planning meeting, but we already kind of have a map in place. There's a couple things we're going to change from the last time we were there, but I think it'll be good. I'm excited for
Okay.
it.
2026. Look out, Wisconsin. Wisconsin.
With dancing.
Cheese and beer.
Jeez, I'm ready for some curds.
One of my friends that's also starting to help on site crew, he's excited for the milk, and I don't understand that at all. Like, who gets excited for
Well,
milk
we will-
from Wisconsin? I don't know. I don't
There will be,
really like milk, so
Maybe
It's
an
just odd to me.
episode, some sort of testing milk, a milk test, milk tasting.
I was hoping you were
I'll
going
go
to
for
say
some
beer.
strawberry milk or some chocolate milk, but regular milk, nah.
All right. Well, now you got me. Flavored milk.
Cows. Happy cows.
Oh, so we had beers and ears in Iowa. What are we going to have in Wisconsin?
Oh God, we're gonna have milk and Oreo cookies or something.
Well, we got to have a
Milk and cheese?
cheese and
I know, I was trying to
Cheese
think
curds, definitely
curds.
cheese
cheese. And,
curds.
we could wait. We could have cheese.
of curds and
chicken
turds.
wings.
Curds and turds.
Make it curds. Make it curds and birds, and we'll have cheese and chicken wings or
Chicken?
something.
Oh, I
you
like
go.
this. Yes,
Curds and
Yes.
birds.
Lock this in.
birds and birds, baby.
To our
Gotta get the
3
cheese curds from
listeners.
Union Star because they're nice and squeaky.
You heard it here first. To our 3 listeners, is that what you said, Skylar?
Well, I was about to say, if you have any suggestions on what we could have in Wisconsin, reach out. I don't know how you do that in a comment section. Can you do that? Do we
Just
have-
Yeah,
give
you can
everybody
comment.
Joel's phone number.
Well, technically, they could also email the
We do have an
podcast
email,
email,
right?
but you can also
Oh, yeah.
comment on the platforms you're listening on, whether that is Spotify or YouTube. You can still comment. But no, we do have an email. Is that worth just plugging real quick? If anyone's got feedback, suggestions,
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no catchy abbreviation here, so I'm just going to say it's ippod@pgi.org. So
IP
ignition
pod.
point
IP
Pod.
pod.
IP pod IPID at pgi.org.
.org. Remember that.
Catchy. .org.
.org.
IP
Well,
pod.
I think on on that note, what do you guys say that we wrap her up and put a bow on it for this episode? If anyone's still listening at this point after an hour of us rambling about the convention, be a little surprised.
Yeah. Joel, can you title this episode Curds and Birds?
Parentheses. Curds and birds.
I'm making that happen. It has to. Curds and birds.
So, on a more serious note, there is a lot of topics we will talk about that probably circle back to the previous convention. Like, we can bring in some guests, some competitors, that kind of stuff. There were some political changes on the board that we can discuss in future episodes, so stay tuned for that. And like I said, we do have an email, and also I have been looking for comments, so make sure to leave some feedback. Let us know if you're enjoying the podcast, if you have any suggestions, or if you're interested in being a guest. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate everybody listening. Adam?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought we were all doing this. Maybe it was just Peaches.
It
She's
starts
hiding in the
with a
basement.
spark.
Am I doing that, or are you doing
Oh, you
that?
have the flashlight.
Am I starting it?
Sure.
Okay. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
Well,
Ready.
Peaches will be 3 seconds behind both of you. Okay,
Correct.
here we go. All right, folks. That wraps it up for today's episode. Remember, it starts with a spark.
And ends with
And
a
Ends with
bang.
a bang.
It was like a step approach.
Woo! It was not much better in person. So we're we're still not in unison, regardless.
It's just now the thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Blooper
Thanks,
reel.
everyone.
Cool.
Oh, I love you guys. Cool. Are you recording right now?
Yeah, and they just left us, and there was still so much more to talk about. Peaches, her internet finally stabilized, and she's got stories upon stories
Stories.
to
I
tell
don't have
us.
stories.
Peaches,
Do I have stories?
no stories. Oh, that was a
How could you-
fake that you
How could
had
you
a lot?
put me on the
Should I
spot like that?
Because it's just us. Do I need to stop the recording? Ah,
It is just us.
Okay.
Yeah, you threw me off, man. You're actually gonna do that? Oh man.
And this is the
No,
Ignition
well, I'm
Point podcast,
actually-
unhinged.
I'm actually kind of mad because I was trying to tell my whole Class C story a little bit there, but I don't know how much of it
Tell us.
actually got recorded.
Not much.
Well, I was just saying that the morning of Wednesday, when the Class C tournament was, or the Class C competition, I know there was the Unlimited, and that one didn't go up. There was no opponents or whatever. It was just that one guy. And then there was, I can't think of what the actual competition was. It was one of the other Class C competitions. But anyways, so the morning of, I had not been to bed yet, and I seen the sun was rolling out. So I was like, oh, I need to go get a beautiful photo because it's a beautiful sunrise, right? So I go out there, it's 6:30 in the morning, and all of a sudden I see Whitney Peterson is out there starting to work, and then there's this female out there, and she is also like looking around, and they're setting flags and stuff, and I'm like, what on earth are you guys doing? And they're like, well, we're setting up for tonight's competition. And I was like, don't you know what time it is? Like, don't you guys sleep? What the heck? And I'm saying this because it's 6:30 in the morning and I hadn't been to bed yet, so I shouldn't have talked, but I was just like, you guys are nuts. So
Was that large Class C?
it could have been large Class C. So there were two competitors in it, and I have the girl's name written down, and I can't remember it
Rain.
off the top of my head because I'm really bad. That might have been it. So she was telling me the
Yeah,
story
shoot.
of the fact that she has not been to a PGI since she was 8 years old, and she was, I don't know how old she was, but it was like 20 some years, right? And so she wanted to come back to kind of learn how to build shells again, and her father had passed away, so she was doing
Rain.
that Class
It was
C
the tribute
competition.
show.
Yes, so she was doing that in honor of her father, and she had showed me the video of what it was going to look like, and she was like crying as I'm watching this video, and I'm like kind of tearing up too, like, this is gorgeous, and I'm telling her that like it's so awesome that she came here for this, and like I was so proud of her for doing it. And so when it actually came to that show that night, like I definitely cried because I knew that there was a story behind it, and it was gorgeous, and it was a great show. And then when I seen her at Afterglow afterwards, I gave her a big hug and I was like, I was so proud of you. She said she had a little bit of issues, but she was happy with how the show went and whatever. So that was just a super beautiful moment. And I love that PGI is like a place that stuff like that can happen to. Like that was so awesome for her. And I was so happy she was able to go through with it. And it was a gorgeous show. So that was really cool. I never would have expected to have that happen at 6:30 in the morning when I was just trying to go take a picture of the sunrise before I went to bed. But that's what happens. It was great. And then also that night,
helped with our show on Sunday.
Oh, really? Yeah. So she was super
Yeah.
awesome. I had never met her before, obviously, since it was her first time back at PGI since she was 8 years old. So she was a very, very nice person, and I'm glad I got to meet her, and I'm glad she did all that. And yeah, and that was also the night I volunteered to help serve beers at Afterglow. So I was super exhausted that day because I had only a little bit of sleep, and then I worked all day, and then they were like, "Oh, we need volunteers," and I was like, "Hey, like, I'm gonna say yes if you can't find anyone else." So slinging beers was actually kind of fun too, and I would definitely volunteer to do that again next year because I actually thoroughly enjoyed that as well. I never would have thought I would because I'd rather sit and drink beer than serve beer, but I got to do a little bit of both, so it was okay. So I'll volunteer to do that again next year.
There's a recording of us, Adam and I, recording you and Skylar at that Afterglow. And then after the convention,
I remember seeing
Skylar
you guys.
also sent a video of Adam and I recording Peaches at the Afterglow. So there's a dual angle of that specific recording, which is hilariously awesome. And I love seeing it from her perspective. And Adam and I look like we're talking on our phones and like joking that Peaches is behind us.
And I'm just slinging beers and unaware of what the heck's going on because I'm half asleep. I love it. I freaking love you guys. It was fun. That was a good time. I can't wait till next year.
Me too. Yeah, I'm excited already. But Peaches, you should probably go get some sleep. What?
You're not wrong there. What time is it now? 9 o'clock. I gotta be back to work at 6 a.m. So
oh my goodness.
I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday, I was sleeping I think I fell asleep on the couch at about 6 p.m. It's bad, but I still needed it. I desperately needed it. I need a vacation away from my PGI vacation because like I haven't been able to catch up on sleep or laundry or anything yet, but I wouldn't change it for a thing. Like it's what I love every year. I wish we had like 3 or 4 a year. I'd be in heaven.
Oh, the amount of work you put into that to volunteer to do that 3 or 4 times a year blows my mind. And if anyone is questioning why I say that, join Site Crew.
100%. We'll see. And so for some reason, people are always saying that they want to join us too, and then some, do it a couple days and like, you're nuts. And some people stick around. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but join and find out.
Sure.
All right, Joel.
All right, Peaches. It's fun talking to you. Once your internet
stabilizes
a bit. And hearing your story.
I know, it took long enough.
Get caught up on sleep and we'll talk soon.
All right.
And it
Have a good
ends
night.
with a bang.
And it ends with a bang. Bye, y'all.